Quds Force is primarily aimed at capturing somehow or establishing control over Al-Quds, which is the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is the Jerusalem. America suffered massive damage, America and its allies. That is the reason why Ismail Khan is saying, indeed, this deal is a victory to Iran. Iran helped Hamas construct more than 300 miles of tunnels in Gaza, out of which only 30 or 40% have been found. Any group can act as a spoiler.
US President Donald Trump recently warned Iran over its proxies. Now, what are these proxy groups and why do they matter? To share more insight about these proxy groups, their role, influence and impact across Middle East, we are joined by our expert, Major Amit Bansal ji. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, who are Iran's key proxy groups and where do they operate across the Middle East?
So, Anshu, when it comes to the proxies of Iran, since 1980, or you can say almost last 5 decades, Iran has developed a very vast network of proxies all across the Middle East. On top of all of it is Hezbollah. Hezbollah is just not a group. It is a very strong group in Lebanon, which has got veto power in Lebanon's parliament. So you cannot ignore Hezbollah. Next comes Houthis. Houthis are basically ruling almost a bigger part of the Yemen. They have got control over Sana'a, they have got control over major towns, and at will they are able to attack any ship moving into Bab al-Mandab. Then comes the Iraqi militia, which is broadly classified as Popular Mobilization Forces. We talk about PMF. So you remember when we heard about the attack against ISIS, Islamic State. Yes. So these PMFs, they played a very vital role. So we have got Popular Mobilization Forces. In Arabic, we call them Hashd al-Shabi. And it has got 5-6 groups. You have Kataib Hezbollah, you have Asab, Uzhaq, we have got Harkat Hezbollah, Al-Nuqta. We have 2 more groups. We have got one Badr army also. So we have got 5-6 groups, but altogether they are under a broader umbrella called as Popular Mobilization Forces. Next comes Syria. So in Syria, when in the recent developments, when this gentleman has taken over, prior to that, when Bashar al-Assad was the ruler of Syria, so that time it had a lot of Shia militias who were supporting the government over there, primarily from the Alawite sect. And the last but not the least is Hamas. Iran started supporting Hamas in last, you can say about 15-20 years. But with Iran's support, Hamas has emerged as a very potent proxy.
What form of support has Iran provided to these proxy groups and how it has managed to sustain those networks?
So first of all, support. So Iran provides them with the funds. Iran provides them with the training. Iran provides them with the equipment. Iran provides them with the ideological support also. And when it comes to the top 4 supports like Houthis, Hezbollah and Popular Mobilization Forces and some Syrian groups. So because of being Shia groups, it was also giving a very strong ideological support. Now comes to how. So there are different channels. For money, there are different channels. For technical support, there are different channels. Till the takeover of Syria, Iran has virtually created a land corridor from its land to Syria, to Lebanon and to other areas. So it was supporting things through this land corridor. But now, after the Syria has now been outrun and Bashar al-Assad is no more in power, they have a different route, which is a combination of sea route, which is a combination of land routes, which is a combination of different kind of routes. So they have been supporting their proxies at large, and the support continues. It's still going unabated.
What exactly is the Quds Force and what role does it play in advancing Iran's regional strategy?
So Quds Force, it originated in 80s. So to understand Quds Force, you have to understand the meaning of the Quds. We don't understand. We say that Quds Force is a force which is primarily what Quds Force does. It primarily is responsible for foreign intelligence. It is primarily responsible for equipping the proxies. It is primarily responsible for covert operations across the borders of Iran and all kind of subversive activities. Something like a dirty KGB of Russia, is something like a dirty CIA of US, it is something like a ISI of Pakistan. So it is that kind of intelligence agency. But the name reveals it all. So in Arabic, Al-Quds means the Holy Land, and that refers to Jerusalem, the Temple Mount, or the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So when we see overall precedence of holy sites in Islam, number 1 is Makkah, number 2 is Medina, and number 3 is Al-Aqsa Mosque. First 2 are in the control of Saudi, and the third one is not in control of anybody but Israel. Now, there is a debate in the entire Islamic world that who will be the leader of Islamic Ummah. Today, because Saudi has got two major holy sites in its control, it is de facto declaring itself as the leader of Islamic Ummah. But if someone can control the third holy site, which is the important site, which is what? Al-Quds or Jerusalem, then he have the right to claim the title of the so-called leader of Islamic Ummah.
Yes.
Now that's the total concept. So Quds Force is primarily aimed at capturing somehow or establishing control over Al-Quds, which is the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is the Jerusalem. So that's primarily, and that is the reason why Israel is the enemy of all the countries, and that is why the Iran has got enmity with Israel. Now coming to Quds Force, so it is a very vast organization formed in 1980, changed its leaders from first to another. A lot of leaders have been changed, and a lot of leaders have been assassinated also, and it is considered as number one enemy to America, and caused major damage to America in various fields of Middle East, and basically, as I told you, providing intelligence, carrying out subversive activities, carrying out covert activities, supporting the proxies, the entirely responsibility of Quds Force.
So playing a crucial role in Iran's regional strategy.
Regional
somewhere.
strategy, yes. Intelligence, Dirty Harry. So Quds Force is playing the role of a Dirty Harry.
Quds Force chief recently said that the US-Iran deal is a victory and insisted that Iran-backed groups will endure. What does that tell about Tehran's broader objectives?
See, Iran has to continue establishing its control over the entire Middle East. It cannot go back on that. So, as far as its proxies are concerned, they are very well entrenched. I don't think so the deal is going to have any impact on them. Second is the statement about the victory. See, throughout the conflict, Iran has been talking things on their own terms. While if you see, they destroyed entire infrastructure of American forces in the Middle East. They destroyed their bases in Kuwait, they destroyed their bases in Bahrain, Manama Bay, the entire thing has been destroyed. They destroyed their bases in Qatar, they destroyed their bases in Iraq, they destroyed their base in Saudi. Finally, when they shifted their base to Jordan, they attacked in Jordan also.
Yes.
They carried out heavy strikes on Israel. So ultimately, when it comes to the damage in terms of manpower, certainly yes, Iran lost more number of people. But in terms of infrastructure and the money and the strategic damage, it has definitely, America suffered massive damage. America and its allies, includes Saudi, includes Kuwait, includes Qatar, includes Bahrain, includes Jordan. So they suffered the massive damage, maximum damage. So that is the reason why Ismail Khan is saying that indeed this deal is a victory to Iran. Iran did not suffer the major damage as they are claiming.
Even amid peace efforts, Lebanon remains a key issue for Iran. Why does Tehran continue to place such an importance on Lebanon, and how does it affect Iran's regional influence?
Okay, again I go back to Al-Quds.
Al-Quds.
Iran is, see, you have to understand two aims, Iran's aim and Israel's aims. So these two aims are conflicting aims. When you talk to an Israeli, they said our aim is to capture the old holy land, land of Canaan, which was gifted to them 3,000 years back. When you talk about Iran, so they say our only aim is to capture Al-Quds, which is Jerusalem, which is the holy land, which is the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the third holiest site of Islam. So how do Iran reach Jerusalem? There is no land route because Jordan is there in between, Syria is there in between. So there is no land route for Iran to reach Israel. Only land route is through Lebanon. Well, Lebanon is the country which is neighboring Israel. So that is the reason why Iran developed Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran equipped Hezbollah in Lebanon. That is the reason why Hezbollah has got such a prime importance for Iran, because Iran thinks that Lebanon and Hezbollah can play a vital role in future when it is going to launch an attack on Israel and future maybe launching an effort to capture Jerusalem and finally capture the Al-Quds Mosque.
Do you think the deal would halt the ongoing clashes in Lebanon?
I don't think so, because in deal, Israel is not a signatory, Hezbollah is not a signatory, Lebanon is not a signatory. So when there are so many stakeholders and you are not making them the signatory to the deal, how can the peace deal actually materialize?
Nearly every group is a Shia group, except Hamas, which is a Sunni group. Knowing the difference between the two groups, why Iran supports Hamas?
So, you see all the proxies of Iran, they're all Shia, except Hamas, which is a very strong radical Sunni group. So, when Hamas started developing itself, started showing not only Hamas, like one of the another group which was getting good Iranian support was Palestinian Islamic Jihad, operating out of the West Bank. So, why Iran was supporting them? I'll call it as a marriage of convenience. So, marriage of convenience is what? So, they wanted some proxy which can inflict damage on Israel. Again, what is the aim? Al-Quds.
Al-Quds.
With an aim of capturing Al-Quds, they wanted a proxy which can cause heavy damage to Israel. And at that point of time, they could find only one such potent enemy of Israel is nothing but Hamas. Initially, they fielded PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad. And in the second phase, when Hamas became stronger, they started supporting Hamas. Although Hamas was being supported by others also, like nearly $1 billion were given by Qatar. A huge amount of funds have flown from other Islamic countries also. But Iran was predominantly instrumental in providing them training, their strategy planning, their planning of operations, how do they contact, and there is a reason why Israel has not been able to subdue Hamas till now, till date.
Till date. Where do the funds for these proxies come from, and why can't international powers put a stop on such financial transfers?
So, you have to understand one single fact. Funds for illegal activities come from illegal sources. So, when you are channeling the illegal sources for illegal activities, it is difficult to track them. So, Iran and other oil producing nations have got a huge source of funds. They have a shadow fleet of tankers, like the shadow fleet of oils tankers which are not on the record. So, when they are selling them to a country, they are taking payment in cash, and this kind of payments go to the proxies. There are different kind of other businesses also, illegitimate businesses from where the businesses go to them. Take an example of Pakistan ISI. Now, Pakistan ISI has been causing massive damage to India, channeling massive funds to India for subversive activities, and knowing Pakistan's furniture halat, how ISI has been able to do it. Why? Because it is a very big conduit in channelizing Afghanistan's drug network. Afghanistan is the biggest producer of heroin in the world. Almost 90% of the heroin of the world they produce. It is a landlocked country, not connected to any port. So, how does this heroin reach the rest of the world? ISI plays a vital role. They have a strong channel. They buy it from the Afghani warlords. They channelize it through their own country, take it to Karachi port or any other port, and send it to the rest of the world from there. And they get their money out of that. Similarly, Iran also makes money from illegal sources.
If Iran violates the proxy agreement, what would the United States and its partners do next?
So, there are too many spoilers, I must say. It's not only Iran who will act as a spoiler. There are too many spoilers here. We have Saudi, which may act as a spoiler. We may have Houthis, the different sects of Houthis. Houthis are not just one group. There are different groups among the Houthis also.
Yes.
One group may act as a spoiler. So, when you talk about proxies, any group can act as a spoiler, and deal finally may not materialize at all.
Now, talking about Gaza, it has become Israel's longest and most challenging military campaign in decades. What factors have prevented Israel from achieving its objectives?
So, when Iran started equipping Hamas, it learnt tactics very well. It analyzed all the operations of America, it analyzed all the operations of Israel, and based on that, it prepared its tactics. You will not believe, but Iran helped Hamas construct more than 300 miles of tunnels in Gaza, out of which only 30 or 40% have been found. Much have not been found. Hamas know how to act on that. So, the strategy of Hamas is very, very strong. And it is the strategy because of Hamas' strategy, because of which Israel has not been able to conquer the entire area which they earlier planned. So, what Hamas does? Extensive tunneling network. You don't know, one fighter has fired on you, it has gone inside the ground, and where it is going to come out now. 300 miles of extensive tunnel network. Command center, control center, storages, food, rations, medical, hospital, everything inside. Number two, Hamas learnt a very crucial aspect, and very crucial aspect. They know how to systematically use the human shield. Not only using of human shield, they know tactically how to use the human shield, when to use, in what intensity and what pretext.
Correct.
So, that is the reason they are hiding behind the population. They also know, they learnt and practice well a very high level of urban guerrilla tactics, fighting in the built-up areas, fighting in the areas where buildings are there, and so when Israeli tanks come, you would have seen various videos. Israeli tanks are moving in a town, and some
They
Hamas
don't
guy
even
comes from behind and drops a grenade inside the bomb, inside the tank. So they learned this tactics very well. They practice this very well, and till date, all the strategy is being controlled by Iran, Quds Force. Also, Iran knew, and this is the overall tactics of not only Hamas, but tactics of Hezbollah also, tactics of Iran also, that they have to work without the leaders. Like they knew that first thing Israel and America are going to do, they're going to bomb the leader and kill the leader. So they developed, I use a word for that, is self-healing mash.
Okay.
So they
What is the
use self-healing mash is a kind of mash of leadership, where even if you destroy one part of it,
The
it will
other
automatically
comes in.
regenerate itself. So even if there is no leader, the system will continue to work without any leadership.
Amid rising tensions, can Abraham Accord survive?
I don't think so. See, Abraham Accord, America has been pushing a lot for that. Trump has been trying a lot so that he gets a Nobel Prize on the basis of this Abraham Accord. But I personally don't feel that it will reach any place, because finally, ultimately, even you take Saudi, you take Iraq, you take Iran, you take any Islamic country, for them, Al-Aqsa Mosque is prime importance. It is the third holiest site in Islam, as they say. So for them, capturing Jerusalem and making it a part of an Islamic nation is of prime importance.
Now, my very last question, sir. What about the oil market uncertainty and changing regional alliances?
I must say that this conflict has taught us and the world a big lesson, and that lesson is look for alternatives. Before this conflict started, everybody was dependent on the Middle East, Persian Bay for the oil. Today, there are countries who have shifted their 100% oil import from the Persian Bay and shifted to other suppliers. People shifted to Angola, people shifted to Nigeria, people are buying from Venezuela, people are buying from Russia, people are buying from other African countries, people are buying from America. So, and people are buying from countries which are outside the Persian Bay, for example, UAE.
UAE.
Also, some amount of it they are buying from Saudi through their ports in Red Sea. So, alternatives have been worked out. So now people know, if say today when this conflict started, it shook the entire world.
Correct.
In terms of oil and
It
energy
did,
crisis.
it did, yes.
But if the similar kind of crisis happens next, or maybe after a few months, people know where to look for. So they have alternatives. So oil market, I personally feel that even if the deal is signed, although it will stabilize, but now it will have more number of players to play in the oil market, not just the Middle East.
Well, on that note, sir, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, you have shared so many details with us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.